You know what I like about this right here? I can be sitting here in my drawers,
And nobody would know?
and nobody even knows I'm in my drawers.
Well, I would know. Mason would know.
Well, that's true, but those people would not know I was in my drawers.
The rest of the world would
The
not
rest
know.
of the world would not know this.
We're doing.
We don't really know what we're doing. We're just gonna sit around and tell stories,
Tell stories.
bring in our friends.
Okay.
Did you know that you can get Botox for your nuts? I didn't know.
I don't
that.
have nuts.
I know, but a man can. We're like tired. We've had no sleep. I didn't even brush my hair.
Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the Turning Point Podcast with Leanne and Lynn. This is episode 3 of Roy. And in this episode, you're going to get to hear a phone call with our, not mine, but
My friend.
Lynn's truck driver friend that had the experience with Roy. So make sure you listen all the way through so that you get to hear that. We're pretty excited and grateful to have him on. What he went through is pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to like.
Comment.
Comment. Let's hear what you've got to say.
We've gotten some really good feedback about the set. So
Right.
we're going to try to do some improvements on that. And yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know. We want to know.
We did. Her more than me, I don't really care. So now we're gonna get into my best friend and her point of view on how that whole thing went down on her end. The conversation with Lisa. She's my best friend. She's a real bad bitch. She's my best friend. Okay.
How long have you guys been best friends?
Too long. About 16 years.
16 years. So you would say that you know Lynn pretty dang well.
Like the back of my hand.
Okay. So tell me about how she fits into Roy.
Well, I guess when all that started up and we started finding out all this information, she was the very first person I called. I was like, you're not even going to believe this. I don't even know how to tell you this, but this is what happened. And so I started telling her about how the truck driver, how he had gone into these dreams and that he had become somebody else and he was talking to 2 different people. And I was telling her, oh, and I need to correct something about what I said earlier. The Battle of Way was 1968. The truck driver was born in 1964. And that's how I knew he wasn't living a past life.
Got you.
Okay? That's when we realized, okay, there's somebody else involved. And I instantly, well, I don't even know, did I wait till the next day or did I call you during the night or
The next day.
the next day, that morning?
That morning.
Freaked out.
Yes.
Completely freaked out.
More than just completely freaked out. You said, oh my God, you're never going to believe this. And I was like, with you, I'll believe anything. So tell me. And then you started telling me the story and you told me you were going to record it or you had it recorded. I can't remember which one. And you were like, I really think that at first that he was in the military, and he told me no, he wasn't. And I was like, okay, but I have been Lynn's best friend so long that I heard about spirits. I too see spirits. I call them ghosts, where she calls them spirits, or I say I have woo-woo. But Lynn told me that it freaked her out because it was like he was holding a gun. And all of a sudden, I started, as I say, praying about it and thinking about it. And I was like, my heart was in my throat because I felt like I was going to know who this person was. And Lynn was telling me that another girl named Shelly, who I've never met yet, who's one of her good friends, was feeling the same way, and she's an empath as well, and she was kind of researching, I guess you would call it, this battle away.
Googled it, yeah.
So we all started doing that. We all started Googling the battle away because I was born in '65. I did not know the battle away even existed. Like I knew Vietnam existed, of course, who didn't? But I didn't know that there was a battle away, right?
When I was giving you names, you were Googling those names to find out where they were in history.
Right.
Were they names of soldiers?
Names of soldiers.
Yeah, he gave us the name of Turner and he gave us the name of Smith. And I knew it was the Battle of Way because the truck driver woke up and literally said
Yeah, listen to that.
And she was talking about California.
Yeah.
And so between the California and the two soldiers that she was talking about, it gave us a pathway to Google.
To who Roy was.
And we had no idea that it was Roy. And everything that kept funneling down, we would put something in and it would come up at Roy. And it would come up Roy again. And it kept...
They all lined up to him.
And
That's how research works.
I literally, at first, I didn't think she was crazy, but it was very hard to believe because it was so right there in your face, and it was dramatic, and it was a lot. It wasn't like I saw this guy walk through my house, or I felt this guy walk through my house, or I heard his boots, like she tells me. But it was the whole story. And you guys heard the whole story.
Yeah.
That recording was a lot. Like,
Yeah,
my
it's
husband is
heavy.
very religious and very God-fearing, and he has different feelings now because he heard that. I mean, that recording is something you cannot deny.
Right.
It's not made up. It's
Right.
not dubbed out. It's not something that AI did. It's something that really happened. And we're too stupid to know how to do AI shit anyway. So that's not gonna happen, So, I mean,
I love it.
like, really, we're old ladies that are sitting around a table, hanging out, having a good time, telling you the story so you can understand, because Lynn's got a vision that she needs to get out to the world, and regardless of what I think, what Leanne thinks, this particular moment, or turning point, as you guys all call it, and by the way, me and Lynn came up with that turning point, I'm just saying. I was in my kitchen, and I kept Googling names, and she's like, "That's my boat! The turning point was my boat! The name of her boat." So,
Yeah.
that's how the turning point
That is
became.
that's true.
And,
It's my sailboat was named the Turning Point.
and it was just like, that was it. That was the name.
And then here's another crazy thing to add into that. So my ex had made me a CD years ago. Probably it's been
Her young ex.
Shut up.
Hot young ex. Go ahead.
You can cut all that out.
No, you don't have to. He was really hot.
Okay, Jesse made me a CD, and I found that CD when I was in here trying to get everything ready for this podcast. I stumbled across that CD, and it was like brand new, and I went out there and stuck it in the Jeep to listen to it, and the song I was listening to was about the turning points and the fork in the road. You're choosing what path you're going to take, and that was literally the song that came out, and it's the first part. I think
Doesn't surprise me a bit.
it's the first lyric in the song. So these are the questions that I had, like, when you're delving with something that is not something that's normal, your normal reality, how did your brain, like, were you like you just trusted me enough to know that was real, or the fact that we were able to Google it, or
It was a combination of everything. Like, first of all, I know her. So I know she's not a liar. She's probably too blunt sometimes, but I'm blunt too, so I guess that's why we get along. We just bitch at each other and we figure it out. Okay. Well, I have been around a lot of people who are paranormal is the norm.
Paranormal is the norm.
Right. So it's not shocking to me that she would say something like this. And the manner of which it happened was very shocking, and the way that it was so elaborate was shocking. Of course, you're going to have reservations. Anything that we can't see, can't touch, can't feel, we're going to we don't even know. And here she's telling me that the truck driver's talking about the Battle Away, and I'm like, okay, so that means nothing to me because
Right.
A, I don't know the Battle Away. B, all right, it's a really weird subject. And then, I don't know how far I'm supposed to go with this, y'all, but I'm
Keep going.
just going to say that after she told me that this Roy guy may have been with her since childhood, and she'll probably elaborate on that later, that was really weird. So there was a lot of weird unknowns, but I love her, and she's my ride or die, so I'm gonna believe her. I might not understand, but I don't understand God either 100%, and I believe that there's God, and I believe that there's a Jesus, so why wouldn't I believe that there was spirits or ghosts or however you want to call it, woo-woo, as I call it, that she has, and
I love woo-woo.
yeah, I believe in
That
woo-woo.
might be my new term.
We
I
got
like it.
woo-woo. We got woo-woo.
I mean, there's a lot of woo-woo in all of our lives if you look
Well,
back.
I say that all the time. I say that I believe everybody's got this third eye. I just don't believe everybody is using that third eye.
My husband called her a cyclops last night, by the way. What's a cyclops? Because she's got the third eye. Just
Cyclops.
I love it.
Just figured I'd share that with you because, he was like,
I'm a
your friend's a cyclops.
She's a cyclops.
I think you might be right though that everybody might have it, but definitely
They don't use it.
or understand
Or
it
understand-
or try
or
or
even-
want to.
Right. That's another thing I say, because a lot of what we do is our gut.
Mm-hmm.
It's going off of what your gut is telling you. Not only do I hear it and see it and feel it and dream it. Like people ask me, are you, what do you call yourself, a psychic? No, I call myself a normal human being that was just trying to get by, and for some reason I glow. I mean, that's what they tell me, and they know I can hear them. They know I can see them, and I know the biggest way that they catch me is they call my name behind me, and they'll make me turn around and look. And the minute I turn around and look, they know they got me. They know I can hear them. So then it's like, game on. Let's go hang out with Lynn.
Yeah.
And it's never, and she knows it, it's never like it's just one spirit, because a lot of times it's like taking a telephone and you'll talk in it and then you'll hand it to her.
They used to have them. They were called
And then-
some kind of telephone. What was that called? Party line. The party line.
It is very much like a party line.
It's a party
Yeah.
line.
It's like spirits in prison and they got one phone. And you know how all the prisoners stand around that one phone and wait for that phone call?
Yeah.
It's this exact same thing. That's the closest I can come to it, because I don't have control over it. I don't know how to, I'm not somebody that's gonna be like, today you're gonna win the lottery and your cat's gonna get run over by a truck, and that's not me. That's not who I am, and I don't know how to do that. All I know how to do is tell you what I'm feeling and what I'm sensing and what I've seen. But when you can Google it and it come out of history, there's no denying it in my world. I mean, maybe in someone else's, but in my world, There's no denying it.
Do you think that's part of being an empath? Like, because you said that you aren't the person that knows when something's going to happen or the winning lottery numbers, right?
No, like I would love for him. I've even asked him.
Yeah.
You know,
Get those numbers.
I'm not gonna lie about this. I mean, it's like I've said to my 900 friends on Facebook. You know, before I met the guy I'm with, you know, I got 900 friends, but none of y'all know one good man. I mean, it's the same way with the spirit world. You know, you got 900 spirits out there, but can I talk to the one I want?
Right.
Like if I had my way, you know, I'd put my 25 cents in and say, hey, where's Fran? Where's Abbott's? Where's my
Those
dad?
are her best friends that passed away.
Well, 45 years ago. The friends of 45 years.
But they didn't pass away 45 years
No,
ago.
they just passed away within the last three or 4 years. But the thing about it is, like if I had my choice, like I don't want to talk to my boyfriend's wife who passed away.
Right.
I would rather be talking to my best friend who passed away. I don't have that. And it's never been like that. Now, have I been able to do that for other friends? I had a friend, Pam, that her husband passed away. I did a reading for her. The reason I did a reading for her was because she was at the end of her rope. She just seemed like she just couldn't go on. And I did a reading for her, and I may have Pam on here too talking about it, because it you could tell it made her. It was so good a reading that her son went riding by on a riding lawnmower, and she opens up the door and screams outside, Dakota, get in here. Your daddy wants to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, that's not really the way we do this. Like, he doesn't even know what's going on.
Oh, God.
And you're calling him in to talk to his dad. Like, yeah, that's
You're
how.
going to scare him.
Right, but that's how much she knew she was talking to Billy. Like, there was no doubt in her mind she was talking to Billy. So, anything else you could think of?
Mm-mm. Just keep following, keep checking the Turning Point out. There's probably lots more to come, and whether you're a believer or you're a non-believer, it's worth listening to. She's a good storyteller, like Leanne said, and yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, come back anytime.
Always. Love you.
Love you too.
All right. Cut. Okay, we're recording this conversation so that we can use it in the podcast, and I just want to make sure I get your permission.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you. Okay, so this is the truck driver friend of mine, and we are going to go back to April 1st. And how many was it? Like 3 years ago this April, right?
I believe so.
Okay, so you were going to truck driving school. I was keeping your dog, right?
No, I was just going through orientation at a new company. Wasn't truck driving school.
Okay, I knew it was something to do that you had to do stuff with it at the truck
Yeah.
drive place. Okay, and I kept your dog Ty.
Yep.
Okay, so April Fools, we go to bed. Where you fall asleep. I'm sitting there watching TV, and just what do you remember?
The only thing I remember about that night is banging my face into your sliding glass door,
Do you,
walking into the door, I guess. And I woke up and I was walking around the house, I guess.
okay, so when it first happened, and I first woke you up, and I asked you, and I said, you said you were not military. What were you thinking in your head when I woke you up?
Oh, that part I remember. I didn't know what the hell you was talking about. I was like, when the hell she's asking me that?
Okay, so did you think I was crazy?
Not at that moment.
Not at that moment. Okay. So I asked you if you'd ever been military, and you said no, right?
Right.
Okay, so you went back to sleep. Everything was fine. You started talking again. I woke you up. What happened?
I don't remember waking up.
Do you remember anything that you dreamed at that time?
I don't remember anything, like I said, except for banging my face into your sliding glass door.
Okay, well that was the third go round. So second go round we had names and did we have the battle away at the second go round? Because we started Googling stuff, remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Battle away. I remember getting up the next day after we talked, and I got on your TV on YouTube, and I tried to put in way, but I spelled it W-A-Y, and that's not how it's spelled at all. But I ended up finding out that Battle of Way was in Vietnam in 1968. It's considered a very sacred city in Vietnam, the Vietnamese people, and the Vietnamese, the Viet Cong, and the NVA, North Vietnam Army, uh, had a stronghold in the city. They held most of the city, and American forces were trying to drive them out of the city. And they took these kids out of the jungle, expecting them to go door to door, house to house, to kill the enemy. And lost a lot of guys there that day. A couple of days, well, it was more than a day, but like a week and a half of fighting, maybe two, I think.
Do you remember when your hips started hurting, your leg and all that?
Yeah, my left side started to hurt.
Yep.
Shoot, about, about a week before that, to be honest with you.
Right. You weren't here. You were somewhere else, and you went to see a doctor. Did you not?
Yeah, I went to the doctor, and they said there wasn't anything wrong with me, and couldn't understand why I was having this pain. I mean, it ended up costing me a couple $100 to find out nothing.
Right.
Uh, Even to this day, every once in a while, I get little pains in my side, and I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on with it, but
Uh.
it's not bad. It's not like it was.
Okay. So going back to that night when I woke you up the third time you woke yourself up when you slammed into the patio door. Did you think I was crazy then?
No, I knew something was going on because I don't remember ever sleepwalking in my life. I don't remember ever doing that before. So
Had anything like this ever happened to you before?
no, not that I know of at all.
That you know of. So, do you remember when you were talking to your dog and you were not you?
I kind of remember a little bit of that. It was like fuzzy. I knew how my dog was, but I don't know why I was saying all that. So yeah, I remember that a little bit.
So you've told nobody, right?
No, I ain't told anybody about this.
Is it
Now the
some?
whole world's gonna know about it.
Well, I'm not naming you, so I mean
Right.
nobody really knows. I just I wanted your side of the story. We Googled that night, did we not? Get on the well, didn't we start Googling it that night, trying to
I think
figure out?
it was early in the morning. Yeah, we got up and you might have started googling it that night. I did it next day. First thing I did was come out to the TV and try to find something about the Battle of Way on YouTube, and just was compelled to find out what the hell was about that Battle of Way.
Started Googling stuff. Um, when did you realize when you first heard it on the audio? You heard your voice. You knew it was you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did that freak you out?
Absolutely. I was totally freaked out by that.
You,
And like I said, what's really weird is when you called me about your podcast and you had sent me a link to your show and you were talking about it. When you started playing that tape, I just started hurting like hell again in my left side. And I was just so depressed. And I started crying. And it was just crazy. Even just talking about it right now, I'm getting depressed thinking about it. Now my side's not hurting or anything, but I'm definitely getting a mood change going on here.
you got a question you wanted to ask him?
Yeah. What do you think made you say those things in your sleep?
All I can say is, I guess I was like a conduit for some lost spirits. All I can say, and I believe in the afterlife and the spirit world. I don't know if our souls go directly pass over or if they can hang around or not. I don't know that for certain. Um, but I know it wasn't me saying that stuff. I didn't know any of that stuff that it was being said out of my mouth. I didn't know anything about Vietnam.
Right.
I just,
You were a small kid.
yeah, I just remember when I was a young kid. I remember 4 years old, 5 years old, seeing some newscasts about it through Walter Cronkite. When I was a kid, I didn't
He was the
think nothing
best.
about it.
Right. So you don't know what it was, but had anybody in your life ever told you that they heard you talking in your sleep before?
Yeah, I've had somebody talk about me talking in my sleep, but it's about like I was talking to another truck driver or something.
Something
Or
that related to your
yeah, something
life.
that relates to me in my life.
Right.
Nothing like this before. And what the crazy thing is about this, when I got a load out to California, and when I got out to California, I ended up in Southern California, did a lot of research, and the man's father was buried he was in the military too. His man's father was buried down there around Los Angeles, and I happened to drive right past that cemetery while I was down there. Excuse me.
Are you talking about Roy's dad?
Yeah, and
Hmm.
had a load there. Then they sent me up to the Middle Valley to get a load of vegetables. And when I'd only been up there once before, when I was coming back out, I took a shortcut, and I didn't even realize it. And this is after I was on the coast right there, and I did my release of him with Lynn there on the phone. And when I was coming back out of the valley, I ended
Oh.
You
up
there?
there in the central. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You'll
go
have
back.
to go back and say that again.
When I was coming back out of the valley, I ended up I was taking a shortcut, and I ended up going right past the cemetery where Roy was buried. It's a military cemetery right there in Central California. And I was like, this is crazy. And I was going right past that cemetery.
Did you stop?
No, I couldn't get my big truck in there.
Oh yeah, duh.
I would have stopped in a heartbeat,
Right.
and but no, I couldn't get it in there. But it was just ironic, so ironic that
Where?
that happened.
Tell them where you were supposed to be going.
Oh, we went up the coastline.
No, I'm talking about in the beginning. You were supposed to be going somewhere
Oh,
besides.
I was supposed to go to get a load going to Pennsylvania.
The complete opposite side of the country.
Yeah,
Right.
and then they called me later that day after all this, and they said they wanted me to pick up this other load going to California. And then we're like, okay, California, going up the coast, wind in the hair. So kind of made everything kind of very strange,
It
to say the least.
it all lined up though, didn't it?
It all did perfectly.
Yeah.
And the more it did, the more I'm like thinking I'm nuts. And yeah, it's just it makes you wonder and think. And I definitely believe in the spirit world 100%. That's for sure. I didn't realize the weirdest and craziest thing is that I didn't want to think that I could lose control of my own body. I hated that. That's what I hated more than anything.
And is that because you got up and walked?
Well, any of it. I mean, he took control of my mind and my mouth, and I
Yeah.
got up and walked.
Yeah.
And I guess it was because I'm a very heavy sleeper. When I sleep, I am out to the world. I, I don't recollect anything when I'm asleep. You take a gunshot to wake me up.
Hmm.
And maybe that's makes it easier for made it easier for Roy to come and kind of take possession of what he wanted to do, and why he did what he did and said what he said. I have no clue. I think Lynn had more to do with it than anything. Now she needs a good ass whooping. Um,
You're
because of
not
her
wrong for that.
because her special abilities that she has.
Well, did I not warn you up front?
Yeah, absolutely, you did. You was talking about how you found guns and murder or
No,
something.
I found a murder weapon.
Yeah, murder weapon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy.
Right. You just blew it off. And then when that happened, everything changed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, my favorite part was when you slammed into the patio door and and you were like, how did I get in here? And I was like, I got the audio.
I can prove
I
it.
can prove it now. Come
Yeah,
here.
exactly, exactly.
When you first started hearing yourself talk, what was going through your mind?
I was just, in total disbelief. Saying what I was saying, things that I have known nothing about, and that was very concerning for me at first. And still to this day is like I said, I couldn't stand the fact that something could take control of my body, and I still hate that fact.
Has anything happened since Roy?
Feeling power.
Are you there? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did you hear?
Okay.
No.
No.
No, I said it's the only thing I hated about the whole thing was the feeling of losing control of myself and being taken over like that, and it just makes you feel powerless. And nobody ever wants to feel like you know you're powerless and something can take control of you. And I hate that. I really do. To this day, I still hate it.
Well, I feel like
So
there was a reason why all that went down. Like I don't think it was just for me and you to to just for something for us to deal with. I feel like this was a story that needs to be told because you felt it, I felt it. That the feeling of how lost he was, how how confused he was, how he didn't want to be where he was at, and for you to just to literally have papers send you down that highway.
yeah, I
I,
mean, as a matter of fact, when I got on the coastal road and I got out there and you could see the water and the islands out in the water. I could definitely I had a feeling of rejoicing and happiness in my body, and my hair stood up on my arms like it is right now for some reason, and it was just amazing. And then I pulled off to the side, and after I stood out on the right there by the water, and I called Lynn and did that, and like I said, as far as I know, I've never had any other issues with it.
The feeling you got when I talked to him, the feeling like the release almost. Did you feel it like I felt it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It was like I had my face washed and had splashed water on my face. Waking up exactly
Hmm.
like that.
I really appreciate you doing this for us. You've at least told your side, and it collaborates with my side, so maybe it makes sense to other people. It's like I've told everybody. I don't know why that happened, and I don't know, what was the reason behind it. But I feel like it's a story that needs to be told, and I think that hopefully, if it just has one person stopping and thinking, I'm a hero instead of I'm a zero, it's worth this podcast.
Right. And it was kind of confusing for me in one aspect that I figure if you're a spirit, you can go and be anywhere you want at any time. But yet he came to me and somehow knew prior to me getting that load to California that like he knew I was going to go to California. Like he wanted to ride along and be in a vehicle going up the coast with the
Yep.
windows down.
Yep.
And I guess I don't know how to explain it. I really don't.
I don't have an explanation for it either. I'm glad we were able to do that for him.
Yeah, I was very happy about doing that for him.
So did you know that I got to talk to his friend that tried to save him that day?
Uh, I think you mentioned it, but I really don't know the whole story.
Yeah, everything we saw, all the things that he said about the lieutenants were trying to get him killed, all that stuff was exactly correct. Like him coming out of the jungle, not knowing how to fight in the jungle, him going door to door, and not him knowing how to fight in the jungle, not knowing how to fight door to door. All that stuff was absolutely correct.
I mean, damn. So you corroborated everything
Er,
with somebody that he was in the military with.
yeah, who was actually there that day that tried to save him. They
Really?
they all went in together at one time and joined together, and so they were together at that day, just in two separate platoons.
All right. Now I definitely have every hair on my body standing up right now.
Well, I apologize. I can feel it on the back of my neck as we speak.
Oh
you,
wow.
you know we have that power. Don't know what it is, but it's like an antenna.
What do you think your family would say if you told them?
I really don't know. I think my mom would be all right with it. She's kind of spiritual. My mother is. Uh, Everybody else probably think I'm just a crazy loon.
So let me ask you this: where do you feel like that came from? Did you at any time feel like it was anything like bad or demonic or anything like that?
I never felt anything demonic. I never felt like I was going to be hurt at all. Um, no, not at all.
Did you not feel more like he was crying out?
Absolutely, you could
Okay,
tell. I could tell that for sure.
okay. Do you feel like we've done him justice by telling his story?
I believe that's something that maybe that's. Yeah, I was been thinking about that. Maybe that's the whole reason why he came to us. He wanted to hear. He wanted everybody to know about him. He was a 19-year-old kid who didn't have a life. You
No.
know.
Right. I agree. And he was there
And
trying to save other 19-year-old kids.
yeah, and he just wanted that last ride up the coast. And damn, I'm just gonna cry right now. Uh, anyway,
It was a good thing you did. It really was. You're a good man. That,
oh,
that,
I try to be.
that was a good thing you did. And you can smoke some meat.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope everybody thinks so. That's what I'm fixing to do for a living. So
Hey,
it better be good.
I think everybody here ate some of yours before. You had his bologna in there for sure. What'd
Oh,
you
that
have?
bologna ain't nothing compared to that pulled pork and
I
ribs.
love smoked bologna.
Oh,
Do you
listen.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this man can cook. She had your smoked bologna last time.
Yeah, I'm sure you fixed her that fish, right?
Salmon.
Mm-mm.
Y'all didn't eat the salmon. Did you eat the salmon?
We
Carl ate the
love
salmon.
salmon.
It was Carl that ate the salmon.
Oh
Listen,
yeah, that salmon's amazing.
listen, I appreciate everything you've done, and I appreciate you being here for me today.
Well,
You,
good luck with your podcast, and not a problem. And ladies, have a blessed day, and
you got
we'll
anything
talk
you
at
want
you
to say?
again one day, someday, I reckon.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And safe travels to you.
Thank you very much. Good luck on your podcast.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay, y'all. That does it for another episode of the Turning Point Podcast with Leanne and Lynn. We sure do appreciate you for tuning in with us this week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What you got for them?
Don't forget to give us your feedback. We want to hear what you got to say. Listen, this is a brand new podcast. Don't forget. Just tell us what you think. But be kind about it, okay? You can lie to us if you want to. It's fine. It's all right.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Whose iPad's down here?
I think that iPad is your.
Okay, so I got one question to ask you because I forgot to ask you this question. And it's probably the most important question I have to ask you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You gonna give me a straight answer?
I would not.
Honest answer.
Yeah.
So who schooled you in badminton, boy?
Oh, this little old lady, about 4'10" or 11, she whooped my ass in badminton.
How many times did I school you?
Just twice.
Just twice, but I got you both times, didn't I?
You did 2 out of 3. You definitely did.
And hey, so you know, those neighbors down the road that came out that day and sat there and watched us play badminton. Remember that? And they were laughing because I kept saying funny things about you while you were playing.
Yeah.
I've never seen those people before or after that day.
Are you kidding me, bro?
No, I'm not. They solely came out to laugh at me beating your butt.